everyone. Welcome back to our work paper functionality series. So in this session, we are going to talk about saving our workbooks out to the platform and some other options around saving to the platform. So in previous sessions, we have talked about creating sets and gets, as well as creating range sets and gets. But you've got this wonderful workbook here. And one of the beautiful things about this functionality is that it's an Excel add-in that is just another tool that you can use within your Excel workbooks. And with that, you have the ability to save them on your own servers or shared drives, but you can also save them to OneSource tax provision if that is what you would like to do. The benefit of doing that is that once it is saved to the platform and somebody does what we call checks out the file from the platform, it kind of puts it into a read-only status for anybody else who wants to use it. So they can go in and access the workbook as well, but they won't be able to save it back to the platform as that exact version. So you've got your workbook, you're logged in to OneSource tax provision, and you have created this wonderful workbook and you want to put it out on the platform. So we're going to click this button that says save to the platform. Since this is the first time I'm saving it, it will be saved to the platform as, and I'm going to leave it as OWP case study template. And I want to attach it to my, so you can see, you can attach it to multiple data sets if you would like. I'm gonna say it's my YT training, Workpapers training instance. And I actually created a folder out there that's called YT demo series. So I'm going to add it to that. As you can see, you could also create a folder from here, and I'm going to save it. So I am gonna save it to my platform and actually close it. So once it does that, we are going to go into OneSource tax provision and take a look at it from that perspective. Takes a little while since this is the first time it's doing it. So sometimes with OneSource tax provision, you just have to bring your patience. So while it is doing that, I'll probably just pop over into the work paper and just show you what that looks like. So if we go in to our home screen, we're going to select the Workpapers tile. You can see we have a variety of different things here. So you can create new folders down the side. We have quite a few things that are attached to various folders. And you can kind of come in and basically select the ones that you want to open. Let's see, it looks like mine kind of saved. So I'm just going to refresh this tab. Oh, it looks like Excel's still going. Yep, hasn't saved yet. Okay, let's take a look. Wow, okay. So it's taking a little while to do that. So while it's doing that, let's see what we can go into here. So what you will see is that once you select something to work on, it will label it as being checked out. It will give you the individual that checked that provision out, that work paper out as well. And then you will be able to open it. But unfortunately, there's another dialog box open at the moment, so I can't yet open this. But with the work papers, when they're saved here, we also have the ability to add attachments to it if we would like. We can just simply, come in and drag and drop our attachments in. We can also add notes to a work paper as well within the platform. Now, one of the benefits of having your work papers saved out to the platform is the fact that you can kind of roll your work papers over from one data set to another. The prior sessions, the workbook that I had built in the ability to create the, download the dataset ID and using formulas kind of put that link in. So any work paper that you are kind of saving over, if you're trying to roll it from one period to the next, that dataset ID needs to be hard coded and cannot be formula driven. So that's one of the adjustments that will need to be made to the software. Okay, so unfortunately on my screen, it's still going. Just successfully uploaded. And as you can see, that updated. So if I go into my YT demo series, it's open. And incidentally, now that freed up, this other one also kind of opened up as well for me, this other one that I had. So because I have it checked out, if I make any changes to it, you can see here the dataset ID, as I mentioned, is hard-coded. It's not formula-driven. But if I make any changes to this one and I want to save it back, because it's already saved to the platform, I now have two options. I can either save this version, which means I'd be overwriting the original version I had, or I could save it to the platform as a new version, which would be the only option available if someone else kind of tries to open this workbook after you have checked it out already. So I am just going to go ahead and go back in and go back to all work papers. And I can actually come in and override the checkout if I would like to. So I'm just going to do that here. All right. So we are able to save individual work papers into our platform area here. Another thing we can do is, we'll have the ability directly from here to run the work papers if we want to, but we also have something that's called batches that allows us to run work papers in kind of sequential order. So for instance, I have an example here that allows us, and so we can run batches in parallel or we can run them sequentially. So that means if you've got something in one work paper that is dependent on another work paper, something happening in another work paper before that can be done, you can set them up in order. Alternatively, if you don't need it to be sequential, you could just kind of create them all in parallel. Now, when you're running batches that are sequential, it will lock the entire batch until it runs through the entire sequence. If you're running them in parallel, it will lock the one that is working on until it jumps to the next one. So how do you create a batch? You simply come in, give it a name. And I'm just going to put sequential, and then I have all these various work papers. So I'm just going to pick just randomly. None of these are ones I created, but hey, they're just kind of here just for illustration. So I've added 4 to the batch, and I'm going to click next. One of them is checked out. So I'd of course have to take care of that before I was able to kind of run it in the batch again. But anyway, it's added to my batch and it's added in sequence in the order. So I'm just going to save it. I'm not going to run it. And then we will take a look at a couple other pieces. Okay, so you can see it now created my new YT demo batch. Says there were 4 sequential, and of course I have a work paper alert because I have something that is sitting in it that is open currently. So when you're ready to run, you simply select it and click run. If you can also edit the batch. So if you need to kind of take things out, so if I need to get rid of this one, I would just, sorry, if I needed to add additional things, I would select the ones I wanted to add. If I needed to take something away, I would just highlight the one I wanted to and hit remove batch. Now, there's also a batch queue that tells you when you are running the batch, where you are in the batch that it's processing. And then there's also a batch history as well. So you can kind of come in and see all the things that have been run within your instance, what's been completed, what's been canceled, etc. Right. And of course, if you need to delete, you simply highlight and, delete the batch if you want to get rid of that. And similarly in the regular work papers as well. You can just select the ones that you want to remove, and those will be deleted. So that's pretty much it in our work papers functionality series. I know it's been a lot, but it's a fun tool. And if you can master it, I think you will get a lot of benefit within your workbooks from the tool's functionality. You'll find that the more you use it, the easier it gets to build these workbooks, and the more creative you will get around your workbooks as well and utilizing the functionality. And I think you will find that for the most part, your import spreadsheets will go away. It'll just be a lot simpler to just kind of build your pulls and pushes into your workbook. So hopefully you will become experts at work papers, and you'll be teaching us here. So we look forward to seeing you on another series. Have a great one.